just going to go out on a limb and say we're not going to get a sunrise this morning. I don't know what would make me think that. Fog lines out there about a quarter mile. Here's all our driveway snow. Everything else is still covered. Actual accumulation, last I saw, we had about 2 inches, but you know, we probably got 3 inches of snow before it started sticking. And we probably got 3 inches of snow worth of mix melting off the top. And it's dripping in the barn. I can hear it from here. Oh, yeah. See? I told you people we get snow. We just never know when we're going to get it. Usually October or November we'll get the first snow. Had a nasty snowstorm one year. It was October 12th, if I remember correctly. 12th to the 16th. Hauled a semi-load of hay from here over to the other side of I-5 to a ranch. And while I was there, I literally just pulled in and it started snowing. It wasn't supposed to snow that day. Wasn't even supposed to freeze that day. I didn't have any chains. Pull trailer with a hoist under it, so a very heavy pull trailer. And it was half a mile of hill up out of the guy's place. I made it. That was with a 72 Freightliner with a 1693 Cat in it. I'm not going to disturb her breakfast this morning, but she's eating. She's going to disturb it by listening to me and wonder what the dogs are doing. Good morning, baby. Yeah, go back to eating. I gotta go walk around and check the rest of them. Anyway, old enough. There was no front brakes on it. Slacking up my story here. I was about probably 3 miles the other side of I-5. And when I got to I-5 was a ghost town. Everything was white. There was 8 inches of snow in the guy's yard when I left. Took me 3 hours to get home, and I wasn't, maybe 30 miles away. And it was nasty all the way home. I-5 was closed, so it really looked funny. Only time I've ever seen I-5 with absolutely zero traffic. And I don't see no more new babies yet. Slackers. I think they're waiting for this weekend when there's actually fresh straw in there. Then we'll probably get 10 of them at once. Okay, there's the other look of the kid. I gotta get to work before I freeze my phalanges off. If I'd have been really quick with a bucket in both hands, the guy in the end, I think I said something about him before. He climbs in there once in a while. Yeah, he was actually in there far enough that when I poured it, his mouth was up to the level of the back of the feeder. He was stretched up here wanting a mouthful. Then I tried to get the camera out. Yeah, he was like that. His buddy there knocked him, so he ended up on his knees. And actually, I lied. That's not the one that usually does it. I guess he's been taking lessons. I almost got it on camera for you. You can't tell there's any age difference in these calves, can you? Not at all. The smaller ones are June. The bigger ones are probably March or April. I don't know. Most of the bigger ones are already gone, but we were keeping a couple bigger ones for ourselves this year, which is something we usually don't do. We usually feed out the smaller ones. But, you know, 'tis what it is. And hey, here you can see how much isn't left on the driveway that way. I don't think I showed that earlier.
Hi, Ron.
Hello, and goodbye.
Look, you knew he'd be here. He's going home now. He's going to work on that. Well, I didn't get near as far as I wanted. But as you can see, there's newspaper. By the way, that's the Capital Press for any of you that cared to know. Printed here in Salem, Oregon. Distributed throughout the Northwest. Damn, I'd love to have that manure spreader. That'd look good on a truck. I got a truck to put it on too. You know, little stuff like that. Oh, and hey, Fay Ranch is had right there. If you want to buy a ranch, I'd like to feed in a bunk like that about that long too. Be a lot easier. A lot more work, but be probably quicker than what we do. Yeah, lots of good stuff to read. And I got in trouble. Becky saw that I put that on upside down. And she, oh, you put the one on upside? Tough shit, it's upside down. Anyway, I decided that I wasn't going to individually mask that off. It can have the original black paint between the windows because it's only a narrow strip. The only thing I have left to do is I have to do the under edge of that top. So I'm going to do that in the morning. And we've been using I use electrical tape for this because why? When you peel it off, it peels nice, clean, and straight. The paint doesn't get underneath it. So there's basically not quite 2.5 rolls. By the time I'm done, it'll probably be 2.5 rolls. Oh, and there's another bee flying up there by the light. They still keep coming out of the top of that cab. I hope I have enough paper left to mask the top. If not, I go steal into Mom's stash. But been getting electrical tape at Harbor Freight. There's a serious Chinesium smell in here. If any of you have gotten stuff from Harbor Freight that's, you know, rubberized plastic or even their tape. I've never noticed it in the tape before, but it was a fresh roll. I just opened it. And I was like, what the hell do I smell? Anyway, hopefully tomorrow morning I can get that taped off without too much issue and get it done and get it painted before I clean feedboard. That's my plan. Of course, you know, my plan was to have it painted a week ago, right? And no, this is just the cab. The door is still laying over there by number 2 Snap-on box. I'll do that later. Get the cab done, get it on. I ain't worried about the door yet. I ain't worried about the steering column yet either. So that's what my day has pretty much been. A few things outside, but mostly taping this up. And I really hate prepping for paint. I don't mind painting. Painted a lot of things. Done a pretty good job on a lot of things. But I hate prep. It is all wiped down. It is ready to just flat out paint it and I'm done. So once I get the top end masked off. So that's what I know. That's how my day is. We got that hot sheet covering that so we don't get any overspray over there. I mean, I'm not too worried about it. I don't think I'm going to get much over there if I do, but cover what we can. And big mess here. Becky went through and cleaned up all the parts I took off the other day. They're cleaned up pretty good. So, you know, it is what it is. If I can get that painted in the morning, Ron won't be here tomorrow, but he sounds like he'll be here all day Friday. They're not supposed to be hauling spuds Friday, so Friday will be the day to hopefully get it set on. And then that'll actually look more like something than nothing. That's what it is. And just I don't know, one of those things hard and not hard to say, but Jeff Raymond put a video up a little bit ago. He hadn't put one up for a few days. He had knee surgery, I think he said the 14th. Hey, cool. He says he's getting around a lot better than he was, but he's still going through therapy. At the same time, he said just a couple days, I don't remember what day he said it was, but just a few days after that, he lost his mother. they put her in the ground yesterday. So if you haven't seen his videos, go check him out. It ain't hard losing. It ain't easy losing a parent. Sounded like she had a few things going on. He mentioned something about dementia and a couple other things, and I mean that doesn't make it any easier. Doesn't make it any harder. It still is what it is. So stop by and give him a little support. I don't know how bad he needs it, but been there. My mom's still alive, but we lost my dad about 2.5 years ago. And he had been watching very long. You know that the chassis for that buggy's been here for about 5 years. And while I'm talking about it, most of you know I got 2 daughters, number 1 and number 2. Number 2 is still going through her diesels classes, what they can do. Kind of hard to do that crap online. That's why her toolbox is crammed in the shop. Mostly in the way, but it's here. If she gave me the key to it, I'd use a bunch of those fancy Snap-on tools, right? I'll stick with all my old tools. I know what they are. I can beat them up and don't have to worry about it. Number 1 took another job first of the year. She's working for a friend of mine at a seed cleaning plant. He farms too. Same place her fiance works when he's not driving a dump truck for himself. So calving season's a little different around here. We only got 1 so far, but she's not here to keep an eye on that kind of thing. She's not here to clean feed barn. She's not here to help on this thing, which, we were working on this together for a long time. We did all the dismantling together. We did the main part of the chassis together, right up until the engine was sitting on the sawhorses, basically. So, she needed to get away. I did similar. I did it a little differently, but I did similar, about the same age. I went and worked in the woods for 5 years. And then times got tough, and 2 winters of being laid off all winter, and it took the whole rest of the year to pay the bills and end up with nothing and refinance the house a couple of times. I came back to the farm because why? Well, my time here is by the hour, and my hours here are long. My time in the woods, 6 to 8 hours a day. More per hour, but less at the end of the day. So, anyway, I really haven't had a good chance to mention that. She's still my daughter. I love her dearly. I really do. More than she'll ever know. Number 2 is filling in a little bit, but where she has a full-time job and she's going to school at the same time, I only get a little bit of time out of her here and there. I actually got her a time card, and I said, keep track of your time. Well, I need to write some time down for her because she's fed for me and that kind of thing, and that hasn't been written down, and it needs to be. So anyway, hopefully we're going to have a big space here. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Would be so nice to have about 3 times this size shop or 4 times this size shop where we could get other projects in or work on them. Because it really would be nice to have the John Deere for feeding with. And no matter what, I got to have it come summer. Because I'm not taking the skid steer out to the field to load trucks with. It's got to be here to unload trucks with and stuff in the barn. I know I babbled way too frickin' long. But here you can read the paper while you're here. Sometimes that's the best thing. When you get packages in the mail that are packed with paper, it's kind of neat to see that kind of thing. Well, let's see. Right there, there's still some Kenworth trucks for sale. Ireland Incorporated, big log trucking outfit. I think they replaced 60 trucks all at the same time, and that's been like 2 years ago, and they still got some trucks left that they're peddling. Enter win $500 gift card at one of the local farm stores here.